morning, fellow INTERPEEPS. I am Scarab. You're watching Scarabic Enterprises. Welcome to my channel. Thank you all for tuning in. Today, we're going to be doing a vlog, because I haven't done a vlog in a while. And to start it off with, let's just say 2020, we're halfway through it, and it's been a horrible year for everybody. Yay for 2020. Now, sarcasm aside, there's some fucked up shit happening, so I hope you're all well, I hope you're all staying safe, and I hope you're all washing your hands, because it's not just the pandemic we need to worry about, it's a lot of stuff. But, I mean, some good changes happening, some bad changes happening. The world is just inside out, and I don't have a right to comment on the majority of anything that is happening at the moment, and I'd rather just keep my mouth shut, but I need to make a vlog. So here I am, still doing what I do. I haven't been able to edit that much recently, as I've just been really busy, like, working on, I just launched a Discord. I'll leave a link in the description if you guys want to come join the Discord. I'm working really hard on trying to make a good community in there and start making some, like, group activities and stuff like that, but I've also concentrated very heavily on what I'm doing with Twitch, because I just became a Twitch affiliate. Hurrah! So now that I'm a Twitch affiliate, I need to do stuff. So I need to figure out, like, how to make things happen, and there's, like, this thing with commands, and you have to put, like, an exclamation, and then you type a thing, and then it's like, stuff happens. That's as much as I know. So I need to, like, research that shit and figure out what's going on, because I don't know. But, I mean, I'm getting a pretty quick grasp of it. I mean, I know there's some pretty young people out there, much younger than me, that are actually going out and are just, like, nailing this whole Twitch thing. So, yeah, I've just been really busy with that and doing a whole bunch of other stuff. I had a lot, and I mean a lot, of videos in preparation. I've only started recording again. It's been ages since I actually recorded a video, outside of, like, yesterday, because I recorded a couple videos yesterday, but I didn't make a vlog. And also, yes, fine, we'll address the other elephant in the room, and yes, I did bring back my mohawk. As you can see, it's still a mohawk. Well, I missed it. I missed the shape, so now it's a mohawk. It's back. I told you it'd be back. I told you when I did my bald vlog that my mohawk would be back, so it is. And there we go. It's as simple as that. Anyway, a few days ago, I made a video where it was just a compilation of the Terminator Resistance intro and then the 4 outros after that. And I know it feels like a cheap video to just put up there so then I don't miss out on a day for content, and that is exactly what that is. I've been so busy, I ran out of content for you guys, and time was running short, so I put that together. But, that being said, it's not that cheap, because I actually am really proud of what I managed to accomplish in that. I'm not an animator by any stretch of the imagination. I've been dabbling. I don't know if you guys have seen my recent changes to, like, my outros and stuff over the last 6 months. Actually, probably less than that, probably the last 3 months maybe. But yeah, I've been changing up the outros. So I've got like 30 different outros now. It's ridiculous. But we only use a few of them. Some of them have, like, videos playing in the background, others don't, that sort of thing. I'd like to keep creating them and make them so then, you know, it gives you guys something to do at the end of the video. You'll be like, oh, the end of the video, I better press next. And then you'll see the animation, you'll be like, oh, I wonder what's gonna happen to him this time. That sort of thing. I reckon that's just, like, something from, like, my perspective as a viewer that watches YouTube and that watches, like, TV shows and all that sort of stuff. Usually when you got some form of media that has, like, little gimmicky stuff like that, I don't know, it keeps my attention. So I figured that if it's good enough for me, it's good enough for you guys. And I want the best for you guys. And I know that I've been a bit lax on the editing side of things, but Stina has been picking up the slack. So big hats, well, I'm not wearing a hat, but if I was, hats off, because big hats off to Stina. She has been editing all of the highlights of my Twitch, streams, and they are awesome. They're really, really well put together. She finds the best bits, the funniest bits, and then she puts in her own little flavor here and there as well, which is great. So yeah, I've been sort of relying on that a little bit while I've been streaming a whole bunch, because I really pushed for the affiliate, and now I'm trying to push for partner, which is gonna take some time. It is. I need an average of 75 viewers over a 30-day period. Everything else is good. Like, I mean, my hours are good, my streaming times are good, my just everything is good, except for now I need more than just 5 average viewers. I need to extend that. Oh, actually, I think it was to become an affiliate, I think you only needed 3 average viewers on a 30-day period. I can't remember. It's just, there's been so much happening. Anyway, so I am trying to get to become a partner. I would love that, and then maybe make that as a part-time thing where I could just like dive into some streams like for half a week, and then for the other half do YouTube videos and stuff like that. I still have a goal of being able to feed myself with doing nothing but YouTube and Twitch, and figuring out some things here and there that can make some money on the side to put back into the business as well. But I'd like to get to a stage where it's comfortable enough so then I can buy food for myself, support the roof over my head, and pay the bills and everything like that. And then everything else that goes into it is straight up. I've already used some of the money to go into some of the games that I've been playing, because I've been keeping a close eye on specials and making sure that I don't overspend or do anything stupid. So some of the donations that I've received during streams, and when people subscribe, I think I just got my first payment for that. And yeah, it's ridiculous. Like, the amount of fucking support that you guys have given me is just over the top, and I really do appreciate it. And I feel really guilty when I don't put like all my effort into a video. But that being said, there are certain types of videos that don't need it. One of the ones is the Terminator, which I'm going back to Terminator now. Terminator Resistance. I'm about to record a whole bunch of videos for Terminator Resistance right now, right here, right today. I don't know if the next Terminator video that comes out is going to be with me without the mohawk, but the 10th episode onwards, I'll have a mohawk. Unless I'm wearing a hat or something. But yeah, I am going to be recording a whole bunch of that today. Maybe I'll even beat it. I don't know. I just feel like I need to beat that game. It's very scary, and right now I've actually got a T800 staring at me, and it's creepy. You guys can't see it, but it's creepy right now. Because it's on the screen behind the camera, and I don't like it. It's just staring at me this whole time. Stop it. Stop it. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the intro and outro video. Although it may have seemed cheap, but at least you guys can get a sort of like a grasp of what I'm trying to do for the channel and stuff, and how much effort I actually do put in. Even though I've been a bit slack recently, I had, prior to being slack and prior to Twitch, I went nuts in editing, creating all of those outros and trying to make a new flavor for my channel, something that people will remember. Like, everyone has their shtick. I think having unique intros, so then having my stock intro, but it comes up with like the game's title and stuff like that. Every time I play a new game, I customize it that. Unless it's a one-off. If it's a one-off, I don't bother. But if it's a series, any series always has a custom title and then a custom outro as well. Terminator has its own custom outro, but everything else has like one of 30 different outros that could play. And not to mention, I've got like my horror intros, my horror outros, my gaming with friends intros, my gaming, I don't have gaming with friends outros, but I've got like horror outros, normal outros, random outros, C-based outros. There's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of stuff happening. I know I'm sort of rambling at this point. I will wrap it up, but I just wanted to say I am so grateful for all the support you guys have given me so far. We're well over 300 subscribers on YouTube, and I am getting close to 60 followers on Twitch. And on Discord, we are growing a community, and we are going to be doing a whole bunch of stuff. I will be making another, well, I guess you could call it a vlog, but that like specifically for the Discord, because it's a themed Discord, which we'll tell you more about later, unless you click on the link and spoil it for yourself. Either way, it doesn't matter. We all want people to be there. But we are filming a couple of skits. I guess you could call them skits. They're not exactly they're not supposed to be funny. They're supposed to be taken seriously, but at the same time, it's tongue-in-cheek. It's a theme. It's a theme thing. But yeah, we're going to be doing something different, a little bit different, and it's something I'm very excited about. I got a couple of people in on it, and it's something I've been talking about for a very long time. One of those things that I said, oh yeah, there's some plans in the works, and I'm going to show you guys soon, and then the virus thing happened, and I was like, you can't have many people in a room. I'm like, well, that's going to put a little dent into the time period. It's okay. I mean, I just want people to be safe, but like, still, it was a major inconvenience for the plans. A couple of other things I have been working on the side as well. So, I mean, I've been chipping away at millions of things, as I keep saying, but this one's happening now. So over the next couple of weeks, up to a month, the Discord is going to be priority number 1, Twitch is probably going to be priority number 2, and YouTube is going to be priority number 3, because I can just record a whole bunch and then edit that in time, and that's fine. So doing that, if I just dedicate 1 day to 2 days a week, recording and then editing for YouTube, and then the rest of the time I can Twitch and then send my videos to Stina, who will edit the highlights for that, and then, you know, upload all of that on a separate day. That's my week done. So recording, streaming, and then yeah, uploading and everything else. But like, I've been trying to keep up to date with everyone and working on the Discord and everything, but my God, I am like high strung right now. I find myself going, okay, I wake up, I boot up the computer, I go, I'm like, all right, cool, I just had a fucking weird dream. All right, whatever. Coffee. So I go, I get my coffee, and then I come into the studio, and I'm just like, all right, cool, my computer's booted up, everything, all right, cool. And then the day just disappears, and then I'm like, I'm really tired and I have to go to bed. And then I look at the time, I'm like, holy shit, I've been awake for like 15 hours already. How? So everything that I'm doing is time consuming, I know that much. But it did make me think a little bit. That's another reason why I haven't been editing as much, is because I need to like be a little bit more wary of my mental health when it comes to overworking myself, which is good in one sense because it keeps me preoccupied. I don't tend to think about too much going on in my head with PTSD and all that sort of stuff, which is great. Keeping myself busy has always worked for me. But recently there's been something on my mind, something pressing on my mind. A few days ago was my mother's 3rd year death anniversary. And as you can imagine, that sort of brings back a lot of memories and stuff. And like, if it wasn't for mother and well, I mean, if it wasn't for mother, I wouldn't be here, right? But it's one of the things that's been pressing on my mind, and I needed a few days to myself, and I didn't do anything. So I sort of just like relaxed a little bit. I streamed on the day. I streamed Raft with Stina on the day, and she cheered me up, but she didn't even know that I was like going through anything. But yeah, I mean, it's never easy. It's never easy to lose a parent, and I hope that anyone out there that has lost a parent or is in the process of anything terrible, I just hope that you understand that like life happens and it sucks, but you can always push forward. Although no matter, they'll always be in your heart, you'll always remember them, you do need to push forward, because without being able to push forward, then you're stuck in the past, and that is a thing that I know all too well. You do not want to remain in the past. Though, if you are to remember loved ones, try to remember all the good things, all the good times. That's my best advice I can give right now. I know I'm getting dark all of a sudden, but it's like, it's still fucking recent and in my mind. It will always be in my mind and in my heart, so it's not like something that just leaves. I may be smiling for the cameras and having a good time playing games, and that is genuine. That is a genuine reaction. I don't even plan these things. I just like play games and react to them. But like when I'm not playing games, when I'm not recording videos, when I'm not doing anything, I'm not exactly a happy person. But that's why I keep myself so busy. It's not so then I suffer from burnout, because that's kind of like where I was heading, but it's just so then I can calm down and then just relax. You know, I need to wear myself down to the point where I can feel okay and feel like I've done enough in terms of productivity than anything else. I need to feel like I've been productive. That's just a drive in me. This is going to be really weird because I'm going to tell you something. I didn't know if I wanted to do this or not, and I didn't know when I was going to do it, but I guess because it's on my mind and I'm a crazy person, I may as well tell you. I deal with death really weirdly. But when I say that, it's just, I don't know. I don't know how to fucking put it into words, but people don't know how fucking nuts I actually had been after like every death. But not just that, alright, oh god, what am I doing? Why am I making a vlog about this? This is crazy. Anyway, I'll start from the top. So, my first proper experience with death was my cousin who died in a motorbike accident, and I didn't know what was going on. My mother came into the room. I was watching Cheese TV, and for those that didn't know, that's a 90s morning television with cartoons like Dragon Ball Z and stuff. It was awesome. But I had a daily routine. I'd wake up early, I'd watch the show, and I'd go to school. While I eat my breakfast, I'd watch the show, and it was fun. Anyway, I was in the middle of that routine, and there was a telephone call, and it was my brother's dad. So he was a little upset, and I was like, I remembered what my mother said. He's like, can I speak to your mother? And I was like, yeah. Is it important? And he's like, yeah, it's important. And because my mother was like, don't wake me up unless it's important. You know, it was that sort of thing. It's like, if it's like 6 in the morning, man, I don't want to fucking be awake. And yeah, I can completely understand. So I was like, you know, is it important? He's like, yeah, it's important. So I woke her up, and then I gave her the phone, and I was like, I don't know, yeah. And then went back to my cartoons. And then I hear, what? Like really loudly, and I was like, well, it must be bad news. Okay, I'm just gonna turn the TV up a little bit. I don't know what's going on. And then my mother came in a little while later, and she just came in and then turned the TV off and then sat down. And it was like, normally if anyone had done that, you'd be like, what the fuck? I'm in the middle of a show. You just come and turn the TV. What did I do to deserve that? Normally that's like the mentality you get. But like, since I was like, oh, this must have something to do with that telephone call. I was in primary school. I was in like grade 5, I think. It was either grade 5 or grade 6, I can't remember. But yeah, she turned it off and sat down, and I just went, oh, this is serious. And then she told me my cousin died, and I was like, fuck. And at first I was like, nah, fuck off, bullshit. But no, my cousin died, and I was like, shit, that's intense. That's I don't know how to feel about that. And then I started crying because mother was really upset and stuff. I started crying, and I gave her a hug and everything, and I was like, fuck. But this is where I say the thing that I don't know what's up with me. I might be a crazy person, but this happens every time someone dies. So I went to school. Mother and my ex-stepfather told me like that I should probably stay home. Everything should be fine. It's like a bad time, but like, you know, we'll get through it together as a family, that sort of thing. And I was like, no, I mean, you pay for school. You pay for my education. I need to go to school. So I went to school. I walked, I think that day I got driven to school. I didn't walk to the bus stop because I was in primary school and I got driven to school. Okay, sorry, I got high school and primary school mixed up. I didn't walk up the hill for that one. But I was driven to school, and then I got out and I went to school, and I told the teachers straight up what was going on. And they're like, oh, why are you here? And even the teachers were like, why are you here? And I was just like, I don't know, because it's school. I'm a kid and I go to school. And they're like, yes, but your cousin just died. I'm like, yes, but I need to go to school. And I sort of tried to concentrate, but I couldn't think. I still had the memory of the last time I saw him, which was the night before, because my cousin was riding home from my house the day he died. So I thought I was the last person to see him. This is the last member of the family to see him. I thought I was. Apparently someone else was driving along and saw him and gave him a wave a while ago. I mean, like before it happened. So I wasn't the last person of the family to see him, but at the time I thought I was. And I just remembered him putting his bike helmet on at the bottom of the stairs, getting ready to go, and then he just stood there for a little while and opened the door and got on his motorbike and left. And as a kid, you stay quiet, you know? The time has come for bedtime, so you need to be asleep. So I pretended to be asleep. I had my door open, and my door faced the front door, and so my head was like here, and then there was like a dresser here, and past the dresser you keep going forwards, and I could see straight out the door. Sometimes I slept with my door open, sometimes I slept with it closed, but this time it was open, and yeah, just sort of just laid there in bed, and I watched my cousin get ready to get on his bike. He was just at the bottom of the stairs in front of the front door, where he left, like, I think he left his jacket and his bike helmet there. I just remember him with his bike helmet on, opening the door and then leave, and that's the last time I ever saw him. And so in school, while I was there after hearing about it, that's like the thought that was in my mind the whole time. And I broke down. I broke down at school. I was fine. I was fine at first. We had like bean bags and stuff there. So I sat on the beanbag for a little while, and then I couldn't handle it, so I went to the toilet and just broke down crying. And by the toilet, I didn't mean the toilet, it was just where the toilets were, you know, like the public bathrooms in schools. So I went to the male toilets and just bawled my eyes out at the sinks. And that was fucked up. But then after that, a teacher walking past heard me, and they were like, yeah, you should go home. So I went to school. I was there for about maybe an hour to two at most. And then, yeah, I was sent home. So that's what happened on my first experience of death. I had other people around me die, which I didn't neither know directly or understand it fully. But I remember that. And then my grandmother died when I was about like my early 20s. And I was working as a kitchen hand at the time. So this is going into the second story. I was at work, and funnily enough, my mother was just like the bringer of death. Like, if I think about it, I'm like, she tells me my cousin's dead. She tells me my grandmother's dead. So I get a call. Yeah, she called me at work, and I'm like, yeah, I gotta, like, I mean, I'm gonna get yelled at, I gotta get back to the kitchen. I was working as a kitchen hand, so I'm like, I gotta get back to work. What's going on? And then I couldn't really make it out. The reception wasn't very good. And then, she was saying, something, mama, something, and we called my grandmother mama. We're a Hungarian family. Mama means mother, and Nagy mama means great grandmother, and I just shortened it when I was a kid to mama, so everyone called her mama. And she was like a second mother to me too. So at work, I went to the staff room and I took the call, and I was like, yeah, what's going on? And it was something, mama. I'm like, and we knew she was unwell. Like, she was basically living on a tic-tac a day, basically. Like, her body was shutting down, that sort of stuff. So that was really brutal because of how connected I was to my grandmother as well. I loved my cousin, but I didn't know him as well as my elder brother did, because I was a kid. I hung out with my kid friends and stuff, and occasionally I'd hang out in my brother's room and hang out with his friends and our parts of the family, like who he hangs out with and stuff. But I didn't know my cousin that well. That was it's just a fact. But I was still hurt because he's family, and I loved family. But my grandmother was someone who raised me. So it's like my grandmother was my mother and my mother was my father. That's the way that I kind of view it. And I think that mother knows that too. So my grandmother died, and I just, I said on the phone to my mother, I said, so, is mama dead? I couldn't hear anything. The reception is fucked. Is mama dead? Is mama dead? And she's like, yes. I said, okay. Thanks for calling. Thank you for letting me know. I gotta finish the day of work. I gotta pay the bills. So I did. I hung up, and then I talked to my supervisor, or the head chef, and there was like a guy above the head chef that I had to talk to as well. But anyway, I talked to the head chef and the supervisor dude. I can't remember what his name is. I think he was like a something manager, like a vice manager or something. I can't remember. Anyway, I spoke to them and I just said, all right, I just got some news. My grandmother died, but you know, I still got half a day to work. And so they were like, dude, go home. And I'm like, no, I'm here. Like, I will grieve in my own time. This was expected. We were expecting a call eventually to say that Mom was dead. She's old, her body's shutting down. So we were expecting this to happen. So I guess she died of natural causes. But so I went to work, and I started working and stuff, and rumor, as they do in a kitchen, they just get around real quick. So, you know, people would come up and all the waitresses and stuff would come in as they're carrying plates in, giving me shit to wash. And they're just like, my condolences. And I'm like, thanks, I'll wash these now. So I did. And I was dating one of the waitresses as well. And she did something really nice for me. She made... Well, this thing is, like, the whole backstory of that was... Like, we sort of got together, but I was like, I want a hot chocolate. Like, we get free coffee and stuff. I want a hot chocolate. And it's like, well, she kept forgetting to get me a hot chocolate. And then, like, my grandmother died, and she got me this really fancy, like, long glass, a fancy long glass, like a dessert glass sort of thing. And that was filled with hot chocolate with swirls around it. It had foam on top and a marshmallow. It was a glorious hot chocolate, and it had like a heart on the top, and it like that helped soften the blow. I know it's just a shitty hot chocolate that came a little too late, weeks too late, but it softened the blow a lot, and that got me through the day of work, with the knowledge that my grandmother had passed away. So I did that. I drank the hot chocolate, and I was like, oh, that's great. At the time, I was a pretty heavy smoker as well, so I went outside and I had a smoke on a break. And one of the other dudes that was there was just like, dude, you're a fucking trooper. And I'm like, why? And he's like, why are you still here? And I'm like, because, well, I got work to do, and my grandmother's a very busy person, so if I have a job, she'd be pissed off that I'm not working. So I think that's another reason why I've got such a drive to do this YouTube and Twitch thing, is because I put all my time into it, and I will make it work. I am fucking determined. But a lot of that stubbornness, a lot of that hard work ethic definitely comes from my grandmother and my mother. So that's what happened then. And I don't know, it's weird that happens with me and death. I just don't understand it. I don't really get why it happens. It just happens, where if I'm in the middle of something, or if I've got stuff to do, even if someone dies, I generally don't shirk my duties. I just keep going. And it told me a lot about my character and a lot about myself and who I am as a person. Not to mention, like, I've been through so much character building and character, just trying to, like, discover who I am, establish what I want to be, and then, like, go for it. And now I think I've got a pretty good hold of that. But seeing yourself in certain scenarios definitely helps you understand a little bit more about yourself. And this is where this video gets really dark. And I don't want anyone to get upset. I don't want anyone to go, oh, poor Scarab. I don't want your pity. I don't want you anything like that. I appreciate the fact that you're sitting through this fucking weird vlog. This is not a vlog anymore. This is story time. How Scarab deals with death. Yes, that is the title, I guess. Yeah, this is gonna get really dark, but this is the truth. I hadn't been mentally prepared enough to be able to fucking say anything of the sort. And also, with all the memories that flooded back after the 3 years that Mother has been dead now, I started remembering what I was like after she died. Now, I had already had my cousin pass away, my grandmother pass away. In between my grandmother and my mother passing away, I had a friend that killed themselves. I had a couple of people that have had loved ones die. I've helped prevent suicides by getting people through hard times, being an ear to those who need it. I've done so much and been through so much. And then I had my back. So after my grandmother died, I pulled my back, lifting something. And I always lift correctly. Always lift with the knees, not your back. I always lifted correctly, but because I have a 6th lumbar vertebrae, it's not good. I get like extra strain because I have a longer back, which means that it's just like, let's just put it to science. Long back equals pain. There you go. But I went to the doctors, I got an x-ray and everything. I know I've already told you guys, I'm just giving you a quick refresher. I went to the doctors and they said, look, if you keep going the way you're going, you're gonna end up in a wheelchair. And I was like, why? And they're like, well, you're lifting correctly, but your back is still suffering. You're gonna either slip a disc or you're gonna like do something really bad to your spine. And I'm like, oh fuck. See, all right, I'll quickly go into the science of it. All right, so when you're bending over and then you try to pick something up like this, then that puts all the weight and it like makes the weight hell of a lot more. So you could be lifting something that's, let's say, 20 kilos or something. You pick up a bag of potatoes, let's say. If you pick up a bag of potatoes wrong, you're not putting, let's say, the 20 kilos onto your spine. Because of the curvature, you're actually putting a hell of a lot more pressure on that than just 20 kilos. So, because like your body weighs and everything else, and then the curvature, I don't know the full science of it. I just know for a fact that that does a lot more. It times it by like 5. So it's really bad. And if you have a longer back, it extends the amount of pressure that builds up in that one spot. That's how you slip a disc. So I discovered that and I had to go through some stuff, and that sucked. And I was bedridden for a while. I went to hospital after getting a series of muscle spasms in my back where I couldn't do anything except for scream. That sucked. And then the hospital overdosed me because they couldn't kill the pain. They kept giving me drugs and they couldn't kill the pain until they overdosed me, where I was in chronic pain, but the medication was making me fall asleep. And then every time I lost consciousness, I stopped breathing. So if it wasn't for my fiance at the time, I would have died, because she was there to shake me awake and say, all right, we need to get a nurse or something because right now you're about to die. So that sucked. The hospital overdosed me on pain, so you can obviously tell how painful it is. And that also indicates that it's nerve damage, not just like regular muscle strain or anything like that. It was nerves, because painkillers don't attack the nerves. You need something specific for that sort of damage. I've been talking for half an hour. Hang on, give me a second. Anyway, so I was bedridden, and then I ended up gaining a whole bunch of weight. I went from a fairly fit 70 to 75 kilo muscle. Then after that, I gained 20 kilos. I ended up being about 9. I think the heaviest I ever got was 98 kilograms. And at my height, that's like obese. And now I've lost a bunch of weight. And anyway, it doesn't matter about now. But at the time, that sucked. And I had fucking horrible back, horrible pain. I was bedridden. The house that I was living in was falling apart. The fucking, the humidity levels inside the house destroyed some very precious memories. It developed mold. There was a lot of mold, and I had a storage room, and pretty much everything in that room got destroyed. So that sucked. But I wasn't getting any better because I have asthma, I have allergies, and my back problems and everything, and being in that environment was not good for my health at all. Even my fiance at the time was feeling a bit ill. So we got out of that and then found this place, which I'm living at the moment. Which is the lease is actually up at the moment. I don't even know if I've got this house for another year, but I will find that out soon. You guys all know. But yeah, all of this stuff adds into like all the shit that I had to deal with at that time, on top of the PTSD, on top of everything else. And mother died. So I got a call from my brother saying that mother died. And then I had to tell my fiance. I was still on the phone. I just kept repeating it. Mother's dead. Mother's dead. Mother's dead. That sort of thing. And I was like, okay, we gotta go. We gotta go see her. So we went to the house. We were there. The police were there. She died because she had so much wrong with her. It was another death that we were sort of expecting, but she had good days and then she had really bad days. I don't think she would have been able to survive this year with all the fires that were at the start of the year. That smoke in the air almost killed me with my fucking asthma. So with mother and emphysema and having I can't even remember the name of the illness, but it's a pulmonary fibrosis or something. I don't know. It's something to do with the lungs. It's really bad. She had a lot of problems. We used to make a joke about it, saying, man, what's wrong with my mother? Like, there's a shorter list of what's good with her, like, when it comes to health-wise. But yeah, she was really, really ill. She was on a rebreather and everything. It was crazy. But yeah, she died. And that sucks. But I got to the house. She died of asphyxiation. So like a hardcore asthma attack on top of the illnesses, which is what killed her. So she would have been gasping for air, lost consciousness, and then died. There's something that still sticks with me because I'm like, she was found with an empty inhaler, which means that she was conscious, which means that she knew what was happening. So it's not a good way to die. There's no fucking sugarcoating that. There is no sugarcoating that. It was a horrible way to die. But that being said, I was really upset. I was crying. My fiance was crying. My brother was crying. We're all crying. And then my elder brother flew down from Adelaide. We had to wait for him as well. But I went inside and I was like, all right, cool. I'll just get us some, because as I use toilet paper still to this day for, by the way, this toilet paper fucking sucks. It just leaves fucking resin everywhere. Like, why? Why? It's fucking dust. It's just dust. It's like wiping your ass with dust. Or blowing your nose with dust. I'd never get in this toilet paper again. Anyway, I use toilet paper to like blow my nose and stuff. Hence why hence why my streams and stuff you can see me blow my nose all the time. But yeah, I went, all right, cool. I'll go that way to get a roll of toilet paper, and then we could... I forgot my mother had tissues. But anyway, I went to go get some toilet paper from where she kept it, and she was on the way there. And I didn't know that. I wasn't expecting to see her body when I went into the house. I didn't know where she was in the house. I thought she died in her bed. She didn't. So I had to like get to her, like go past her to get what I needed, but I didn't do that. I walked in and saw her on the ground. It sort of registered with me and went, nope. So I walked around, and then I went into her office, and then I got the tissues. And then I was like, oh, I should have done this to begin with. But yeah, I saw my mother's corpse, which is a part of it, part of life, I guess. There's some parts of this I don't need to say, but yeah, I saw that, and my fiance didn't. I said, you don't want to see that. And I didn't mean it like in disrespect to my mother, like you don't want to see that. I was saying you don't want to see that, like that scene. You don't want to remember her like this. That's what I was getting at. But as soon as I said you don't want to see that, my brother, he looked at me with like hatred in his eyes, and I was like, oh fuck. I always say something stupid when someone dies, and I'm like, oh, that was that one. Great. So that stuck with me for a while. Now, that's describing what happened at her death and stuff. We were there for the coroners and everything, and had to clear out the thing. But, and the fucking kicker is that on the drive to see my mother, on the drive, I got a call from the real estate saying, hey, congratulations, you got the house, because we were looking for houses at the time. And I was like, which house? And then they told me which house. I was like, okay, it was this house. And I was like, all right, that's great, and that's wonderful, we'll take it. I will have to call you back though. I am on the way to see my mother's corpse. And they're like, oh. And I was like, yeah, no, it's okay. I mean, we really want the house. We still want the house. It's my mother's still dead though. So we went there. We got to do all of the fun things, I guess. And yeah, that sucked. But the dark side is about to come. So that's me going, well, yeah, okay. But the crazy shit, this is where things get interesting. This is the stuff that I shouldn't be admitting to anyone. But I went crazy for a little bit. Before I started my channel, I went crazy. I don't know how, but I went crazy. I didn't even realize that I was having several mental breakdowns. I had no idea that I was having several mental breakdowns. I was not conscious of the fact that I was having a mental breakdown. Normally I'm very self-aware. Normally I know what's going on in my mind and what's happening with me. But when my mother died, I lost it. So this is a very deep dive into who I am as a person, what I feel and what I believe and what I am. So we went to the funeral. Now, this is something I really want to state here. I want to state this here and now. I don't want anyone in the comments to be like, oh, she's in a better place. Oh, blah, blah, blah. I don't want any of this. Look, you guys can believe whatever the hell you want to believe. That is perfectly fine with you. But I will say this to anyone. There is no better place than to be alive with your family. Dying is not going to a better place. At least that is what I believe. You may believe different, that's fine, but you shouldn't force your beliefs on others. In my eyes and in my family, there is no better place than alive with your family. That is what I believe. So you are entitled to your own religious belief or your own spiritual belief or your own whatever. But going to someone at a funeral with your religion or anything like that and then going up to someone you know who's atheist or doesn't believe in anything like that, going up to someone and then going, it's okay, she's in a better place, darling. I kind of wanted to punch my in the face. I know it sounds horrible, but it wasn't just me who wanted to do that. Like, I mean, there was a few people I spoke to at the funeral and pissed off everyone. I'm not going to state which. I think we've only got one religious one, but pissed off everyone. And I don't like bad mouthing family members because I don't know. I'm Hungarian. Family means everything, but oh my god, rubs people the wrong way. I thought I say stupid shit at funerals and to people's deaths and stuff. I say stupid shit, but oh my god, rubbed everyone the wrong way. It was just forcing, like sticking religious penis down people's throats without consent, and it was horrible. And by that, I'm referring to the expression, or not the expression, the saying, religion is like a penis. It's fine to have one, it's fine to be proud of it, but please don't wave it around in public and don't shove it down our children's throats. Which makes a lot of sense. It's like a penis. It's fine to have one. It's fine to be proud of it, but don't wave it around in public and don't stick it in anyone's mouth. Oh my god. But that's kind of what we did, and we were not having a bar of it. We did not want anything to do with that. It made it worse. It made the pain worse. And not only did it make the pain worse, we were already sad to begin with, but it also made us angry. So just for future reference for anyone, in the comments, please don't. And also in real life, keep your beliefs to yourself. Or if you're going to do it, have an open conversation about it. Don't just start pushing it onto people. Because especially at funerals, because in some situations it might be the way that you deal with it, but other people deal with it in their own way. So just, if you're gonna go do that sort of thing, just be there, show your support, and then leave. You don't need to try to make things better, because there is nothing good about death. So I just wanted to state that, because I know that some of my viewers will be like, oh, but no, there is no oh but in this story. So I'm sorry. You have a right to your beliefs. I have a right to mine. So that was the annoying thing about the funeral and shit. I think my brother was still angry with me because of what I said at the house. I tried to go up to him to give him a hug. He didn't want a hug, which is fine. I think we're okay now, but like, I don't know. Things were kind of weird between me and my brother for a little while. Like we were in a band together and stuff. No longer in a band. Not like bad blood or anything. We just sort of drifted apart. But yeah, that was just really weird. But also, about a year after Mother died, I got the tattoo. I was looking at camera. I was looking at my my footage, and I was like, "It's on that side," and I forgot it's not a mirror because it's supposed to be on this side. So I got this. It's covered in dead skin because I need a shower, but. Yeah, I got that a year after Mother passed away, and my brother's got something similar. We all got our own unique spin on it. Mine doesn't say my mother's name and last name and death dates and all that. Mine just says Mother, because she loved being called Mother or Mummy. She hated being called Mum. So you can't call her Mum. That's just one of the things that was her thing. So I got Mother instead, which I thought was a bit more respectful in terms of me, because of my experiences with that memory. My other brothers got some pretty cool designs as well. So, you know, we were all happy with it. We all got it on the same day, even though we're in different parts of the country. We all got it the same day. So that was cool. But yeah, a little after that, on and off, I would see my best friend. But he was like, "Oh man, it's good to have you back." I was like, "Fucking what?" I'm paraphrasing at the moment, but basically what he was saying is good to have you back, because I went crazy for a little while. And he went, "Man, you were so fucking hard to deal with after your mother died." I'm like, "What?" Like, gee, thanks. Holy shit, that is like really harsh to say to a person. But at the same time, he was just being honest. And I spoke to him about it. I was like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" And he's like, "Dude, you were just a nightmare," like, which I was. And here's why. Like, I don't know in exactly what sense he is referring to. Maybe I was just like, I had to compensate for things. So like my OCD went into overdrive or something, or I was in the middle of a mental breakdown or something like that. I don't know, but I'm about to tell you the shit that I noticed about myself. So here we go. This is shit that I never thought I'd admit on the internet. It's also shit that I sort of forgot about. I think I forgot about it for a reason, but then it came back to me. I had several mental breakdowns, and they all had different side effects. I had to combat the antidepressants. Sorry, not antidepressants. I wasn't on antidepressants. I had to combat the fucking back injury, the pain from the back injury with opiates. So I had to get very strong. Oh, sorry, I just burped a little. I get very strong, what are they called? Anti-inflammatories to lessen the swelling in my back. And then I needed some painkillers to deal with it so I could move around and do things as well. Because being idle, staying still, does not help you in the slightest. It helps you for a little bit, and then it makes it worse. So in order to move, I needed painkillers in order to move. And that sucked. And I'm actually surprised I never got addicted to any sort of medication at all, because the amount that I was taking was ridiculous. The amount that I needed in order to fucking kill the pain was horrible. I was, I got a tolerance to codeine, so I had to take more than prescribed, but it was still a safe dosage. But I had to take more than prescribed just to fucking combat the pain. It was horrible, and it didn't kill the pain. All it did was sort of numb it, very slightly. So I had to do that periodically, on and off, throughout a few months and stuff, and that was still going on when I moved into this place for a little while. But as soon as I moved in here, I started to get better. And then as soon as my back started to feel better, it's still not good, but as soon as my back started to feel better, I ended up fucking up my leg while I was doing YouTube and stuff. But this is before I did YouTube. So before I did YouTube, I had to combat the things with my back, and I started doing some stupid shit. Just really stupid shit. And I just don't understand why. But it wasn't due to the opiates or anything. I mean, that's a contributing factor to anything. But some of the stuff that I was doing was completely sober. And this is one of them. So, a long time ago, my mother and I talked about a whole bunch of stuff. She was kind of spiritual, but at the same time, she was also kind of like atheist. So, I don't know exactly what she was. She was like a hippie, but she wasn't a hippie, and she hated being called a hippie. Even though she had hippie clothes, it didn't make any sense. But that being said, we were talking about things, and she's like, I don't know, like if I was to be reincarnated, I'd probably come back as a butterfly. And she had a tattoo of a butterfly on her ass as well. She had one, like, I think it was on her, I can't remember if it was her right cheek or her left cheek, I can't remember. And then she had like tattoo on her shoulder had a moon, and it was like a moon like shining through the clouds sort of deal. It was really cool. She had a few cool tattoos. But yeah, it was just was just interesting because like she really did love her butterflies, and you could always tell that she loved her butterflies. There was fucking memorabilia everywhere. Memorabilia, is that what it's called? I don't know. There was just butterflies everywhere. So oh no, I just realized something. She had a tattoo of a butterfly on her butt. Butterfly. God damn it. Oh man, even in death she's still making me laugh. Anyway, so yeah, she said, I'd like to get reincarnated as a butterfly or something like that. It's a short life, but it's a good life. I don't know, she liked to be one with nature, that sort of thing. Just wants to be part of the cosmos or whatever. We sprinkled her ashes into a forest, rainforest, so that was good. But that being said, she said she wanted to be reincarnated. So when someone dies, you sort of hold on to memories. You don't know if they're good or if they're bad, or if sometimes they're just fucking weird. Like this one, I was in the middle of a mental breakdown and a moth flew into my house. And I, no shit, legitimately 100% believed that this moth was my mother, and she fucked up. She didn't get reincarnated as a butterfly, and she fucked up and got reincarnated as a moth. I'm not even joking. I legitimately thought this. I was in the middle of a mental breakdown and I thought a moth was my mother. I started breaking down into tears. I started talking to the moth. My fiance was there. My ex-fiance was there, and she's it's not ex-fiance because of that. I'm just saying. We just sort of drifted apart. She had to look after me when my back problems and everything. We went through a fucking rough time. But we're still really good friends and we love each other, so it's fine. Don't worry about it. But I legitimately thought a moth was my mother, and that was like emotionally crippling. I think my best friend was called, as a matter of fact. I think my ex-fiance might have called him to be like, yeah, he's not doing too good. You might want to talk to him. I don't know. I can't remember that much. It's just that time specifically, about 2 and a bit years ago, nearly 3 years ago. It was pretty recent, so I would have just moved in, would have just got set up and everything, and I thought a moth was my mother. Flying around the house. Didn't act like an average moth. Wouldn't attack lights. Wouldn't, like, I was looking at the characteristics of the moth and studying it and analyzing it and going, you're a people, aren't you? By chance, are you my mother? And you take any sign as a given. So if you talk to the moth and then it moves, you're just like, it's a sign! I went crazy for a little bit. I was insane. I was not thinking straight. And I don't know. When my grandmother died, I used to dream... Okay, alright, so I'll just quickly say this. I have my own beliefs. This is what one of them is that there's no God, there's no nothing, there's no spirits, and there's no anything. I believe more like a parallel universe sort of thing, and sometimes if there's a ghost or something, it could just be a split in the time dimensional thingamabobs, whatever. And that's how you can see things that aren't there, is because they did happen, they just happened in a different universe. Maybe. But I believe that dreams, we still don't understand everything about the human brain. I'm not saying, ooh, you unlock your whole brain and then power. No, that's fucking crazy talk. I think that in your dreams, whether or not it exists or not, I mean, people exist in our minds as well as in real life, but when they die, we have the memories of them, so they live on in our minds. But that being said, we also don't know a lot about the mind. We don't know a lot about dreams. We're still learning as a species. We're still learning. So I think that dreams are a gateway to the afterlife, if there is an afterlife. So when you see people or when you talk to people in dreams, like the very vivid dreams, things that feel real, if you've got a dream that feels real, maybe it's actually not just your subconscious, maybe it's something else. This is just a fickle belief of mine. I'm not 100% on it. But at the same time, I have no reason to doubt it either. I can't fully believe it, and I can't fully doubt it. But when my grandmother died, she was in my dreams a lot. And I mean a lot. So, you know, it was always, she wanted me to make a cake. I still haven't made the cake, and it's driving me nuts. And then Mother and I were going to make the cake together, and then she died. And I still need to make that cake, but I wanted to do it with Mother. Anyway, so I would have these dreams, and then eventually my grandmother would, because I used to have this thing. I'd go into my grandmother's house, give her a kiss and a hug, and then go into the kitchen, look at, and just raid the fridge and the cupboard, be like, what's new? What's on the menu? What's she gonna cook? Because she was a great cook, and I really wanted to know what was for dinner over the next couple of days. And I used to visit there on a weekly basis. And I lived there for a little while too. But that being said, like, there was a lot of dreams where that sort of happened, and then eventually, like, it sort of started to fade away. So I'd go to my grandmother's house, but it was in this middle of this dockyard, like this storage, this junkyard, dockyard storage thing. I'd go in the house and I'd do my ritual. My grandma was nowhere, and then I'd open the cupboard and all of the old stuff was there. The only things that were there are like aeroplane jelly and a couple of tea bags and a bunch of fucking just random shit, like a half bottle of flour or something like that. There wasn't anything sustainable. No one had been shopping in a very long time, and that was one of the sort of the last dreams that I had of my grandmother where it was like, she's gone, she's faded, she's gone. And talking about crazy things that I've done when people die, after my grandmother died, I went a little bit crazy too, because I kept calling her number expecting someone to answer. I did this for a couple of months until I came to terms with her death. I called her because I'd get excited over something, and I'd be like, oh yeah, I need to tell Mama about this. And no one would answer, and I was the crazy person. So that's weird. But then when Mother died, no fucking dreams. None. Until later, but none at first. I didn't have a single dream until months afterwards. And I was like, why are you not talking to me? Why are you not communicating with me? I figured either she had more important people to talk to, she's partying it up there with fucking Jimi Hendrix. Who knows? I had no idea, but I was like, why am I not important enough to contact? And when I started to feel like that, then Mother came into my dreams and she was like, stop being a fucking baby. I've been dead for like 6 months and you're still being a baby. Like, it wasn't necessarily like a harsh thing, because like that was her sense of humor. It was just be like, I don't know. I guess you could call it tough love, but it wasn't really tough love. Like, that was just her humor. If anyone knows, like, Rick Mail and Adrian Edmondson, that's sort of like what we grew up on, like that British humor that's like super harsh, but it's really loving as well. That's kind of like what it is, but like that's what we were, man. We were just very odd with each other, but it was a good family friendship. But yeah, I could definitely see her saying, "You're a big baby." God, I'm only dead. It's not like I'm fully gone. My energy is spread out into the world. I don't know. But it was just strange. I'm trying to remember all the crazy things. But I think the craziest, and this is what I'm going to end this with, the craziest thing that happened was the night that Mother died. Not when she was dead, but what happened during her death. Roughly around the same time as the expected time of death that my mother had suffocated, I got up in the middle of the night and I was hungry. And I went into the kitchen, I cooked myself some pumpkin soup. I stirred it round, I added some milk, some salt and pepper in it like normal. was like, oh, I'm hungry, but I can't be bothered doing anything. Oh, fuck it, soup. It was delicious. And then I went to bed. And at the rough time that my mother died, I woke up. Choking on my vomit. I slept on my back and I overate. And I woke up coughing and spluttering vomit of the pumpkin soup. I wasn't able to breathe. It was harsh. My lungs felt like they were on fire. Almost choked to death on pumpkin soup. And then when that cleared up and I washed up and everything, I went back to sleep. And when I woke up, I got a telephone call from my brother. And that was the call. Now, I don't know how coincidence works, but Mother always believed in some sort of a link. Maybe it's a psychic link, maybe it's a something link, I don't know. But that is one fucking hell of a coincidence. Now, I don't know if I'm still crazy for thinking that. Maybe we were connected at that moment in time. Maybe that was a warning. Or maybe it was nothing. I don't know if I'm still crazy. I don't know if I'm still having mental breakdowns and I don't even realize it. I'm doing pretty good. Recently, I've been doing pretty good. But I still wonder. Every now and then, what if that was a sign? I can't really save her. Can't really do anything about it. Never for 1 second do you think, should you think, I mean you obviously do think, but never should you think that if only I did this, then this person wouldn't be dead. You shouldn't never have to think that. Unless you're like murdering someone. If you're in the process of murdering someone, and then you think about it later on, you're like, maybe I shouldn't have murdered that person. Just don't murder people. But it's a bit different when you have no control over someone's death and then you feel like you're responsible for it. Don't do that. You're not responsible for anything. People just die. But it's what we do with the rest of our lives that actually matters. How we remember them, how we honor them, and what we do for them. There's not much I can do for my mother now. She is dead. I can't call her and be like, hey, I'm a Twitch affiliate! Check this out! She didn't even know I was a YouTuber. Because I wasn't a YouTuber. Though she was alive when I did my horrible stuff. The geeky fucking horrible first attempt at a YouTube thing. I think she saw some of that and it was bad. But that was like the stepping stones to Scarabic Gaming, which was the stepping stones to Scarabic Enterprises. So she knew I had an interest in it. But I have no one left in my life that I feel comfortable enough to report to, if that makes sense. I used to have a lot of guidance, or a lot of like just a support net, like a safety net, which was my grandmother and my mother. They're both gone. I still have friends, and I'm still making more friends, and every one of you I consider a friend. But at the same time, I don't really have a safety net anymore. And that disturbs me. It's like a major kick in the ass where it goes, you need to grow up. You need to be yourself and start things on your own. Which is fine. I don't have a problem with that, and I'm not shying away from any hard work. But you don't reach this fucking amount of videos without doing some hard work, I'll tell you that much. But that being said, my safety net is YouTube. I can talk to you, and you can talk to me. YouTube is a weird platform. where anything is possible. But I'd say for my mental well-being, even though I'm there for everyone else, I don't ever expect anything from anyone else. I never really ask them for much. My best friend, I'll call up if I'm having a real fucking shit time and I'd be like, dude, he'd be like, alright, cool. What's up? But I don't have a safety net. And I think YouTube has been my safety net for the last 2.5 years. 2.5 years. I've been dedicating all my time into YouTube and now into Twitch and Discord. All my time. It feels like my mother only died 6 months ago. It's been over 3 years now. I think I'm starting to realize that I've used YouTube as an escape, but out of that, I've made great friends. Hell, I turned my biggest fan into my editor and a good friend. I've done so much on this platform already, and I'm inspired to go further. Way beyond. I want to start making stuff that matters. I want to start doing things that you guys can participate in, and we can all just sort of gather as a community and be better ourselves, better each other, better the world. In small doses. But if everyone's doing the best thing that we can do, if we can figure out what that is, then we might make the world a better place. Or at least make a start. Now, there's a lot of stuff happening at the moment that I don't want to comment on. But there's change coming. Let's be a part of that change, and let's be the change we want to see.